Tessa from MamasGeeky here. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. All right. I know she's so excited. We're huge Boss Baby fans. So, and she I don't even know. How many times do you think you've watched the series on Netflix?
2 or 3.
Yeah. And she knows all the words and she'll be like, oh, that was this episode or that was that episode. So we've been very excited for this new series. And I'd love to know first, Brandon, how did your team how did you guys come up with the idea of how to continue Boss Baby after the finale of the previous series?
Well, if I'm being honest, we actually, I'll speak only for myself. I was done, emotionally, because there was a finale. Like you said, we told a story, had this really sweet, send off to the brothers of we're gonna grow up, but we'll always love each other, we'll always be family. And as far as I was concerned, we told a story. But as we were finishing that, they were working on the family business movie. And I got to see a preview of it, still in rough form. And just meeting those characters, meeting Tina and Tabitha and adult Tim and Carol and seeing what that world was like years past where the first movie in our first series took place. Suddenly it was, just everything started clicking and no, I don't think we're done with this. I think there's a whole new story to tell here. And so, yeah, I just fell in love with that family and that world. And we went for it.
JP, when did you learn that you were going to voice Boss Baby again?
I don't remember the again part. Because there wasn't a lot of time between when we finished. Well, maybe there was, and it's all just time. Time doesn't mean anything to me
we went
right
straight
now.
into it.
But, yeah, I don't remember. I remember having that real emotional catharsis of the previous series. I mean, we cried in the booth. It was and then the show came out, and I was like, that was wonderful. And, and you kind of prepare okay, I'm going to go, I'm doing other things. And then I get the call from DreamWorks. It's like, okay, so we have this series and you're coming back. I'm like, oh, okay. Especially because I think we all figured if it did come back, and when I say we all, I mean the cast. We all figured if it did come back, the second movie would come out first, and then there might be some time before they were like, oh, it did really well, so let's maybe, put together a show. So we didn't think it would be that quick, but it was quick. So I don't remember as much. I remember getting the role the first time for sure.
What was that like?
Oh, crazy. As I tell people, it's I never expected to get this part. Because I don't think I do a particularly good Alec Baldwin. I do a very good Will Arnett doing Alec Baldwin. So I was just for me, this was this is party time. I was doing an interview this morning with Max Middleman, who plays my older brother Tim. And we were talking about, Max also has done voice matching and stuff like that before. And we were talking about, what makes that successful. And one of the things that we talked about was it's less focusing on the sound of it's partly the sound of the voice, but it's really about capturing the jokes and the way the jokes land and the humor of the character. And I just latched onto the audition sides were from the original series. It's when Tim takes Boss Baby out to the car and locks him in the car seat to have a talk with him, and Boss Baby's trying to escape. And I just loved the funniness of that, and and how he's taunting his brother to go ahead and try and keep me here, that type of thing. So I was just having fun. And I left, even the callback, I was just like, this is a fluke. They're going to give it to somebody else. And then I get a call and I was shocked. Absolutely shocked that I got it and thrilled.
It's awesome. Well, you do such a great job. I mean, I think you sound you're doing very good, Alec Baldwin, yeah. I think you're very good.
I think I do a very good Boss Baby.
Yes, you do a very good Boss Baby. That's a great way to put it. And he's such an iconic character, so that's going to be pretty cool you play a lot of iconic characters, I will say. You voice a lot
I've gotten a couple, which is, I mean, to me, it's kind of, I've just stumbled into all the right potholes. It's, yeah, I mean, my career really started with Wile E. Coyote, and that was just brilliant. But each of them have had their own their own needs to be either super close to the character or have more leeway. Wiley, I had a lot more leeway because most people don't think of what Wile E. Coyote's voice sounds like.
Right.
The Tin Man, I really could. They were like mid-Atlantic accent that sounds vaguely like the 1930s film, but that's about it. This show was pretty was pretty close to trying to, especially in when we were first recording the beginning episodes of the series, was really trying to nail Alec's cadence, like just sort of like the way he expresses a joke. I think over time it's kind of become a little like a hybrid of the way I do it and the way he does it, but yeah, I mean there was a little more particularness with trying to get that flavor.
Yeah, well, you do a great job. Brandon, without spoilers, can you kind of give fans out there what they can expect in this series?
Yeah, I can try without spoilers.
It's hard.
Well, what they can expect is for Boss Baby to just be thrown into a situation that he thinks he knows he's ready for, because he feels like, well, what am I doing? I'm going back to my childhood home. I'm going back to my old office. And what he doesn't realize is that the world changes. Things move on. It's been decades in the world of the unit of the Boss Baby world. And so suddenly he's not maybe the brightest star at Baby Corp anymore. Tina's got a new way of doing things. The new CEO has a new way of doing things. And suddenly he's just a scrappy little kid trying to succeed again and trying to figure out how to do that while meshing with a family in a way that he never really had to before.
JP, without giving spoilers, let us know what Boss Baby is going through in this new series.
What he's going through. Kind of like what, as Brandon was saying, it really is that, Boss Baby's used to being in charge. He's used to, it's his idea and we're all going to run with it and everybody just get behind me and charge. And, but then there's Tina, and Tina she's an incredibly capable boss. She just has a completely different way of doing things than he does. And it's frustrating for him of being like, oh, there's a peer that I need to either undermine or work with in order to get the job done. And one of the big things is, he's used to being the guy who works 24/7. Like his job is his life. While Tina is very good at work-life balance and, it's break time. I'm going to spend time with family or learn the guitar or whatever. And, and he's like, it doesn't compute for him. So, yeah, I think what he's going through is just sort of an identity crisis of like, well, what does being a boss baby mean right now?
JP, what's your favorite part about getting to voice Boss Baby?
This is not flattery. It's the writing. It is the writing. No, not only Brandon, but JD, Megan, like all of the writers who the words they have coming out of our mouths are ridiculous. And not only ridiculous because they're funny, but also because, and I know a lot of us have said it that work on this show, you don't see the type of complexity of dialogue in other kid shows like you do in this one. Like we're talking about embezzlement, we're talking about stock options, we're talking about like board meetings and corporate takeovers and all that stuff. And it's like, this is a children's show, but somehow it all plays, it all makes sense, it all works. And it's all done under the concept of like, oh, right, but we're babies. Right. Yeah. So it's a joy. Somebody, the last thing was talking about, like, there's a lot of big words in the show. I'm like, I know, right? I have to look some of them up.
Well, it's good because they like use the words and we'll be like, wait, what? I don't know if that's how you're supposed to use it. And they know. It's crazy.
My child today called me superfluous.
Oh, there you go.
No.
Why don't you go to this one, honey?
JP, which one of your other characters do you think would make a good fit for Cameo?
I love this question because I'm kind of trying to manifest it right now. It's never going to happen, but it's Green Goblin for sure.
That would be awesome. At Baby Corp, can you imagine?
Oh yeah, I mean he would wreak havoc. There would be pumpkin goop everywhere. But Boss Baby would take him down. Boss and Tina would absolutely take him down.
Oh, that would be so fun. Let's make that happen, Brandon. Let's do it. That sounds like a great crossover.
See what we can do.
If
Yeah.
we can get the
Call your friends at
DreamWorks and
Disney.
Disney people together, like, hey.
So, Brandon, what is the importance, do you think, of making a series that kids can enjoy, but adults can enjoy too? Because I have so much fun watching the last series and this series too with my kids.
Well, the selfish answer is that it's incredibly important to me because, you know, if it's not fun for me to make, then it's a miserable job and the hours are long. But it is fun for me to make. So that's really where it springs from. Is that I love the show. I love everything I get to do with the show. I love the leeway that DreamWorks and Netflix gives us to make a show about a baby being framed for embezzlement and hiding out until the statute of limitations runs out. And that's just never questioned of, is that going to work? Like, no, we trust you. You'll make it work. Yeah. So yeah, it comes out of who we are as people. Everybody on the creative team is the same way. Like if you're writing on this show, if you're directing this show, if you're storyboarding on this show, we've surrounded ourselves with people who just have that personality that love things that anybody can enjoy.
That's awesome. It's very appreciated because there are certainly some shows that I'm like, I don't want to watch this with you. And this is one that I get excited to watch with the kids.
We will not name names, but
no, I won't name names, but there are some out there.
Is there any ever room for recording improv?
There is.
No. Okay. The word is sacred, JP.
Aaron Sorkin. Yes, but I will say I don't do a lot of it. And I do on other shows, and I think part of it is because how densely this is written. It's kind of like the Gilmore Girls. You don't have time to get out any other words. Like you've got a lot to get out. So there'll be a little bit of improv here and there, but for the most part, I pretty much stick to the page, and I think most everybody else does too. Yeah, there's too much to say.
Brandon, will we ever get to see more Boss Baby after this?
Well, let me answer your question this way. There's I don't know how many episodes they gave to you to watch before this interview, but there's 12 episodes, and if you watch through to the end, you'll see that the season does end, but it sure feels like there's places that this can go and there's stories that could be told. So certainly the world is ripe for more stories to come out of Boss Baby after this season.
I feel like we could live with Boss Baby for years and years and years. Like it's the gift that keeps on giving because it's.
I mean, as long as he's got that formula. I mean,
that's the thing, right? He's found the loop. Like now he's in the formula. He's like, oh look, I'm a baby again. So I just need to get a job there and I'll be good. And just keep continuing on. All right, go ahead. You want to finish it off?
Yeah. What's the funniest episode in this new series?
Well, I know the funniest. I don't know if it's it's kind of like the running thing or one of the running things. There's this duck named Lumpy, and he's hideous.
And his name is Curtis. Let's refer to him by his proper name.
Excuse me.
People call him Lumpy, but he doesn't appreciate that.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Sorry, did I ruin your bit?
No, but it's just, I mean, I grew up with cartoons where it was all about a bit with a duck. So, like, I'm a sucker for a bit with a duck.
Exactly. Well, thank you guys so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And we can't wait for more and more and more Boss Baby. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was great meeting the two of you.
And I love your chair.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you so much to all of my monetary supporters, my members here on YouTube, as well as my patrons. If you haven't joined yet, please consider doing so. We have some really awesome perks, including a monthly Zoom meeting where we get to talk face to face. Thank you again to everyone who supports me.